Good morning, Linda Lyons, and this is Mrs. Warren. Today I'm going to read another book about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Our upcoming Monday, we have a day off of school. But it's not just about having a day off of school. Let's find out who we are celebrating. This book is by Tamim, Ansary. And if we look at the table of contents, this book starts on page 4, A New Holiday. These children are very happy. They are starting a long weekend. Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day and schools will be closed. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is America's newest holiday. It was celebrated across the country for the first time in 1986. It honors a great American. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a president or a general. He didn't start a new religion, but he gave our country something wonderful. He gave us a dream. To understand this dream, you have to know about how things that happened in our country a long time ago. Slavery and the Civil War. Long ago, African Americans were slaves. The Civil War set them free, but they did not get equal rights. They were not allowed to vote. They could not get good jobs. Many people disliked them because they had darker skin. Is it the right thing to do to dislike somebody just because they look different than you? No. New laws. Some states passed laws to keep African Americans apart from other people. This is called segregation. African American people could not eat in the same restaurants as white people. African American people could not marry white people. They could not sit in the same parts of a bus as white people. They even had to go to separate schools. So look at these two pictures. Does it look like these children are being treated equally and fairly? Not even close. From boy to man. Martin Luther King Jr. grew up with segregation. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. He wanted to change many things, but he didn't want to hurt anyone. He had deep religious feelings. After college, he became a minister in Montgomery, Alabama. He also began studying the wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi. Let's find out who Gandhi is. The wisdom of Gandhi. Gandhi was an Indian teacher and leader. He believed the world could be changed without violence. He told his followers to meet hate with love. Gandhi said people should not obey unfair laws, but they should not fight either. Dr. King wanted to try this peaceful way of pushing for change. Rosa Parks says no. In Alabama, the law said that African American people had to sit in the back of the bus. One day in 1955, a woman named Rosa Parks said no to this. The police arrested her. Dr. King said the law was wrong. He asked people to stop riding buses. The bus company started losing money. Sure enough, the law was changed. And if you look here, this is actually Rosa Parks in this picture. The lunch counter sit-in, other things that people have done to push for change. Then 4 African American students sat at a white people's lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina. No one served them. Some people called them names, but they kept sitting there for 4 days. Some people sat with the students to show their support. If you look in this picture, they're not being treated very well. It looks like there's coffee dumped on them, salt or sugar. Somebody's pouring their soda on them just because they want to sit and eat some food at a lunch counter. Dr. King led a march to cheer for these students. Soon, African Americans stopped obeying segregation laws in many cities. Dr. King was arrested for giving them the idea. A letter from jail. Dr. King wrote to newspapers, He explained why he was leading marches against segregation. He said all Americans should have the same rights. Thousands of people agreed with him. They too began to march. Even children joined these marches. Alabama Sheriff Bull Connors put many of these children in jail. So think about this. It's not just adults that can fight for a change or help cause change. Children can too. Dr. King's dream. In 1963, Dr. King led a march to Washington, D.C. There, he gave his greatest speech of all. He told people of his dream. He said he dreamed of a world that was fair. People of all colors lived together in peace. A crowd of 250,000 people heard him and began to dream too. Meeting hate with love. I want you to look at this picture before I read this. You have firemen who are using a fire hose to knock people over. And these people are sitting there, and they are willing to do anything it takes to help change the world and help right wrongs. The dream spread across America. Millions of people began working for equal rights. Sometimes police beat them up, but they never fought back. They followed Dr. King's rule, meet hate with love. It worked. Slowly, segregation ended. In 1964, new laws were passed. They promised equal rights to all Americans. Remembering the dream. Martin Luther King Jr. Day began in 1983. It is on the third Monday of January. People across the country get together to remember Dr. King's dream. It is a good day to start living the dream too. It is a good day to reach out and make new friends. This was another book for you about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope it has things that help you think about stuff that could still be changed in the world today, because there's always something that you can fight for and dream for. Have a great day.